What's going on, everybody? Respawn Gentleman here. So with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands coming out very soon, I wanted to give you what I think are the absolute best builds for each class in the game. Let's get right to it. I'm going to be using the Wonderlands skill calculator for this, and I'll have a link for it down in the description below if you want to check that out. But today we are going to be talking about the Graveborn class. Now, this class is super awesome, and I can't wait to get into it with you. So the feat for Graveborn is a Demi-Lich companion. So this one is accompanied by a floating Demi-Lich companion that targets enemies at range and deals dark magic damage. Whenever the Fate Maker casts a spell, the Demi-Lich will cast Hellish Blast, creating a homing projectile of the spell's elemental type, dealing damage to nearby enemies on impact. It increases the Fate Maker's damage, also applies to their companions. So this is going to be a really cool one to have. And as far as the action skills go, you have Dire Sacrifice, which this one, you sacrifice a portion of your health to deal dark magic damage and apply the dark magic status effect to all enemies nearby. You also deal bonus damage based on the amount of sacrificed health. This is one of the ones that actually has numbers on it. So the health amount that you get sacrificed is 40% of your current health, and the bonus damage you get is 150% of the amount that was sacrificed. And you can do this every 25 seconds as well. Then you have Reaper of Bones. It says you're fully healed, you gain increased leech efficiency, and you deal bonus dark magic damage, but your health takes an ever-increasing amount of damage per second. When the Fate Maker would die, they would instead become invulnerable, and Reaper of Bones ends. Action skill duration is based on current health percentage and cannot be modified by other sources. So you get 20% bonus magic damage, you get 25% leech efficiency, invulnerability for 3 seconds, health restoration is 20% of your maximum health, and it's a 50-second cooldown. So of these two, I think this build actually serves better with Reaper of Bones, so that's what I'm going to base this off of. So the first thing you want to do is you want to max out your Mortal Vessel because it can give you plus 15 maximum health and dark magic efficiency. You're going to be using dark magic like crazy, so this is what this build is going to be based on. You also want to max out your Essence Drain because it's a kill skill that gives you 25% spell cooldown rate, so every time you get a kill, it'll be much closer to activating a spell. Then you want to do 2 levels in Faithful Thralls because it'll increase your companion damage by 6%, which is great. So that's a good one to have. As far as Sanguine Sacrament goes, you want to increase 2 levels here. Whenever you cast a spell, you will generate 20% health over 2 seconds. You're going to be casting a lot of spells, so this is super important. Then the next one, you want to max out Dark Pact because you're going to be dealing 20% more dark magic damage. And again, you're going to be using a ton of dark magic. Then you want to put 2 levels into Harvest, which is another kill skill that your companions deal plus 6% bonus dark magic damage per stack. You get 2 stacks, and he already does dark magic damage anyway, so this is really helpful. So then you're going to want Dread Covenant because 35% of the damage taken from the Fate Maker is redirected to the Demi-Lich, so it takes some damage off of you. And then if you ever reach 1 health, you immediately restore 75% of your maximum health, and your Demi-Lich is sacrificed. And this happens every 120 seconds. So basically, it's a way to prevent yourself from going in to save your soul. This is a really great one to have. Then you want to max out Stain of the Soul because your spells will deal 20% bonus dark magic damage. So that's important to have. Next, you want to put 2 levels into Dark Hydra, which is going to be a kill skill where you have a chance to summon a Dark Hydra companion, and it'll deal dark magic ability damage to nearby enemies. There's a 60% chance of it happening. You can have a total of 2 Dark Hydras at a time, and they stick around for about 10 seconds. Next, you want to max out Ascension because it's another kill skill that gives you plus 6% maximum health and spell damage per stack. So you get 10 stacks, so if you have the full stack on there, you'll get plus 60% health and plus 60% spell damage, which is absolutely insane. Then you want to grab Punishment, which is when your Demi-Lich casts Hellish Blast, there's a chance that it'll cast it again after a brief delay. So this is a 20% chance, but the fact that it can cast Hellish Blast twice is huge. So the next one is super important, especially if you're using Reaper of Bones, is Lord of Edges. So you get increased damage dealt and damage reduction the lower your health is. And because Reaper of Bones constantly keeps lowering your health, you will constantly be getting more and more damage. So it increases by 25% the lower your health is. So you're going to be doing a ton of damage with this build. Then you're going to want to max out Blast Gasp because what this does is that anytime you deal spell damage, you could create an elemental explosion, which basically does more damage of whatever spell you cast. And it's right here, it shows you get a 20% chance of this happening, and it's 50% more damage that you do. So it's absolutely insane. It's super important because you're going to want to be using spells as much as possible. then you absolutely have to have the capstone of this one, which is Morheim's Blessing. It says casting a spell automatically activates all the Fate Maker's kill skills. So every single kill skill that we've put points into, as soon as you cast a spell, every single one of them gets active. So if you're slinging spells left and right, it's going to be adding all of those stacks from all of the kill skills and giving you all those bonuses almost constantly. It's absolutely insane. Now for the hero stats, I went with the nerd background and increased my intelligence to 27, so it gives you more spell cooldown rate, so you can cast spells more often. Increase your wisdom to 29 because you want that status effect damage with your dark magic stuff. It's going to be super important, so you want that high up. And then I also increased the constitution and the attunement to 20 to give you more times to use your action skill, as well as give you more health and shield to work with. So for the multi-class option, you definitely want to combine Graveborn with Spell Shot because you want to be using as many spells as possible. So what the feat that you get for adding the Spell Shot is you get Spell Weaving, which is every time you cast a spell or reload a weapon, you get a stack of Spell Weaving, which increases your spell damage. Now they automatically decay after a few seconds, which is kind of normal for most stacks, but it says casting a repeating spell has a chance to award additional Spell Weaving stacks with each repeating cast. So just keep that in mind, and this build is going to be based around casting as many spells as possible. As far as the action skills go, definitely keep going with Reaper of Bones. I feel like that's super important to have. Then you want to go ahead and max out Mortal Vessel because you want that maximum health. That's kind of the main one for this one, is that health. Then you want to max out Essence Drain so you can cast your spells more often. You want to go ahead and max out Sanguine Sacrament, so that way every time you cast a spell, you're regenerating 30% health over 2 seconds. You want to go ahead and max out Dark Impact, so you're doing more dark magic damage. You want to go ahead and also max out Harvest, so that every time you kill your companions, deal 9% more dark magic damage, which is going to be absolutely huge, especially per stack. You get 2 stacks. Then you want to put 3 levels into Stain of the Soul, which will give you plus 12% bonus dark magic damage on all your spells. Then you also want to go ahead and max out Dark Hydra because, again, you'll summon a Dark Hydra and all the benefits from that. Then the last thing you want to do, which is, again, super important to have, is Morheim's Blessing. Go ahead and grab that, so every time you cast a spell, all the kill skills that we just did can reactivate themselves. So for the spell shot side, you want to go ahead and max out Spell Sniper, which is going to give you increased spell critical hit chance because you're going to be using spells a lot, so that's super important. Then you want to increase Font of Mana to maximum because you get a even higher spell cooldown rate, and you also get an action skill cooldown rate, so you're going to be using Reaper of Bones more often, as well as casting spells like crazy. So next you want to grab Mage Armor, so every time you get a stack of Spell Weaving, you restore a portion of your ward. This is super important because of the next one, which is Glass Cannon, so your ward no longer automatically recharges, but you get massively increased spell damage. And you're going to want to be using spells as much as possible, so your ward is going to keep refilling, and you're going to be doing absolute insane amounts of damage with your spells. As far as the hero stats go, I chose no backstory and maxed out intelligence so that way you can get as much spell cooldown rate as possible so you can be casting spells like crazy. I put wisdom at 15 because you are still going to be doing dark magic damage, so you definitely want that status effect to happen as much as you can. I increased constitution to max so you can get the most amount of health and shield because your shield is going to go down a lot, so you want as much as you can get. Then I increased attunement to 15 to give you more bonus to your action skill cooldown, so that way you can use Reaper of Bones more often. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Wonderlands content, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also check out some of my other videos like the one YouTube recommends right over there. And if you want to help support this channel, you can check out the support links in the description below. Thanks for watching.